What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to an impromptu TNT post game. Just giving a few minutes to let everybody come on in, and we're gonna have a good time as we talk about this big victory that the Titans had over the Indianapolis Colts, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun with that. And that the Titans take over first sole possession of first place in the AFC South. We are going to have a good time, and just letting everybody come in a few minutes as we get ready to get started in just a moment. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. And y'all make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure y'all let everybody know what's going on, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. And we are going to get started in just a moment. I'm just spreading the word a little bit. So we're going to get started. But I appreciate y'all so much. Everything. I see we got some people growing in as we got a lot of people going. So we finna get ready to get this show started. And again, y'all make sure y'all spread the word, hit the like button, and let's get on down to some good old fashioned business. And I'll probably be sharing this show while we are live. So let's go ahead and kick this off right here, right now.
AFC Championship 2020. 1908. You did it again, man. Can't be the goat on the beach. Tight. I feel like I'm Jerome Casey.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
300-pound lamb in case your offense active. Plus J.R. Brown.
How about that playing in the background? Welcome into TNT Postgame. I'm your man Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, as we are talking Titans. We are talking victory. This is a victory Monday, and I am stoked. The Tennessee Titans defeating the Indianapolis Colts 45-26 to improve to 8-3 on the year. They take over sole possession of first place in the AFC South. And man, I gotta tell you, 8-3 feels so darn good. It feels good to be victorious. And I got to tell you, it was an amazing thing to see. I see some people up here. I see AZ Big, Thomas Pritchard, DNS, Reggie B, Two Tone Zone. We got on Facebook. Yes, first place, gotta love it. And looks like our defense has come along. Guardian down 187. What's up with you? Yes, we are feeling good. So, and I agree with Guardian down. Hit that like button. Stop playing. Don't play around with that. Hit that like button. Share this show out. Let everybody know what's up. Whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere. Just hit them up. Let them know what's going on. So we're going to have a good time on this victory Monday. The Tennessee Titans, again, defeat the Indianapolis Colts 45-26 to 8-3 on the year. Sole possession of first place in the AFC South. Basically controls their own destiny. They control their own destiny, and they have the inside track to the division title. And so now, and not only that, we are now third in the AFC standings behind the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers, because we have the tiebreaker now over the Colts, and we have the tiebreaker over the Buffalo Bills as well. So This is huge. And I mean, you got to think about how all of this went down. I mean, early on in the game, the Titans get the ball, they score first, then the Colts come back and score, then the Titans score again, then the Colts score again. And I mean, you had the Derrick Henry touchdown, which was originally a touchdown pass. They changed it to a run. And then A.J. Brown breaks free and does A.J. Brown things. And last but not least, of course, then another Derrick Henry touchdown that just, I mean, opens up the game. So it's 14 all. It's 14 all. And then I will say there was a moment in the game at first that I thought, oh, dag, we got issues. We got issues. And Thomas Pritchard, the Twitter is right across the bottom of the screen. So my Twitter is right on the bottom of the screen at TNT Blue Enforcer. Is scrolling across the screen. So y'all check it out. Y'all can share it out there. But when it was tied at 14, and then the Titans go 3 and out. When that happened, I'm thinking, oh, damn, if the Colts score again, we might have some issues because then we got to fight from behind. We got to come back from behind. But, we go 3 and out, but they go 3 and out. And, once that happened, and then we scored 2 more times and really opened up the game. So, getting it up to a 35-14 lead at the half. And I liked how when we got the ball back up 28-14, for a second it looked like, oh, we were just going to settle for a field goal. We were just getting in position for a field goal. But instead, on 4th down, Vrabel like, nah, we going for it. And he went downtown. To CD Corey Davis, and he almost got in himself for a score, but that led to a Derrick Henry run. So, and I forgot Tannehill had a touchdown pass, but he had a touchdown run as well, and that was actually the Tannehill run that got him up 35-14 because everybody thought Henry was getting the rock, and Tannehill just sneaks in, scoop, and score with the finger roll. So that was really cool right there. Facebook says AJ Downtown Brown. That boy can run. Yes, he can. His speed is underrated. His speed is seriously underrated. He got some secret speed to him a little bit. He runs away from people. He's a little bit faster than you think. And Guardian Down says, in the new house. Yes, I am. I am in my new digs. Haven't really started decorating just yet, but that is something that's going to be coming very, very soon. So I'll definitely give a tour once I have everything together. It's going to take a while for me to get it together, but I think I'll have it together shortly. I'll have it together at some point, and then I'll be glad to tell everybody about it. So I'm stoked. I'm happy. Got to watch my first Titans game in my new digs, in my new home, and I feel really, really good. And so I liked how that first half went. Facebook said our defense stepped up. Got to like what Borders is doing out there. Looking good along with Malcolm Butler. And let me tell you something about Breon Borders, ladies and gentlemen. We've said that Jonathan Joseph sucks. We've said that Ty Smith sucks. Breon Borders does not suck, ladies and gentlemen. Breon Borders, he has his little trouble. He had a little trouble here and there, but it wasn't something that you just outright noticed. If you noticed that, he had an interception in the game. Really should have had 2. He should have had a pick 6. He had a pick 6 just right there in his hands, and he drops it. And I know what it was. He was already, as the ball was coming to him, he already running to the end zone. He was already running to the end zone before he caught the ball. and he was already getting ready to celebrate, do his touchdown dance or something like that. So that was something that it kind of got away from him. I know that's one he wished he had back. He could take that and take it to the house, but he did get a pick. He did get his interception in the game, so that was pretty good. Malcolm Butler should have had one as well, but the rule basically said, if you got an offensive and a defensive player fighting for the ball as they come to the ground, usually the advantage goes to the offensive player. So I didn't like that, but I understand the rule. That's the rule. We got to abide by it. But it is what it is. Money Cartel says he runs fast and pass. Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. Runs quite fast. Joseph says the Colts shot themselves with that onside kick late in the fourth quarter. We need to win four of our last five, sweeping the Jags and the Houston Texans. I mean, right now we're 8-3. I think 10 wins is definitely going to happen. And I said this on the show before. If we beat the Indianapolis Colts, which we did, we're going to win at least 10 games. And winning, I will say, my floor was 10-6. I think we're at least going to reach that. I said the ceiling is 12-4. That is still a possibility. But that means we have to win 5 of our last 6 to do it. So not easy, but because we got a good Cleveland Browns team who is also surprisingly 8-3. Wasn't expecting to say that, but they're 8-3 as well. So that's setting up a big time game with playoff implications. This has playoff implications in this particular game. So that's something that we got to think about. But as you take a look at the stats, and I bring up this amazing trio of guys, you got these 3 guys put in some major, major work, and they got the job done. Starting with, of course, the Beast King, our king, who made the Colts bend the knee. They bow down to their king. 27 carries, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he is doing it big. Already has 1,279 yards on the season, and we still have 6 games. We still have 6 games to go. I take that back. We got 5 games to go. And if you look at the calculations that I've done, he is 743 yards away from 2,000. He has to average about 148 yards a game for the remaining 5 games to hit 2,000. We got Cleveland, we got Jacksonville, we got to play Houston again, we got to play the Lions, and we also got to play the Green Bay Packers in those 5 games. So there is still a chance for him. I think he's definitely going to pass. He's definitely going to pass his mark from last year. He's definitely going to get more than 1,500. He ran for 1,540 last year. He's definitely going to surpass that easily, without a doubt. And then next up is that guy right there, Arthur Juan A.J. Downtown Brown. Downtown A.J. Brown did his thing again. 4 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown, and also a kickoff return for a touchdown as well. And I'm just saying, AJ, if y'all don't believe this dude is a baller, this dude is a baller, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he has, a game or two where he disappeared, but the dude shows up. He knows how to run away from folks. He knows how to do what we got to do. And I'm going up reading some comments. Yeah, Deborah Gonzalez, of course, I know she followed me on Instagram, says she's proud of our boys, as I am too. Absolutely. Definitely proud of our boys, without a doubt. 4-3 hybrid. I mean, I kind of like we do some 4-3 as well, because, I mean, that gives kind of Jeff Simmons a chance to do his thing, which he had a sack in the game, and Harold Landry had a sack, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I did, on Facebook, yes, Vaccaro and Evans, one of them should have had a pick too. I do agree with that because they were kind of fighting over that one, but that would have been another one. But hey, we broke it up. And so, and I like one other comment says, win out, period. One game at a time. I agree. We got to go one game at a time. And, I like where this team is headed. I like where this team is headed. And let's tighten up talking about give CD some love. I mean, gee, how fitting. That's where I was going to go next, was Corey Davis. And I got to tell you, he had 3 catches, 70 yards, nearly had a touchdown. All I got to say is this. Tennessee Titans, I'm not saying give him mega money, but what I am saying is pay that dude. Give him some money. He deserves a little bit more money. He deserves to get some paid. He deserves to get some dough. And so I think he needs to stick around just a little bit longer. Just got to stick around just a little bit longer. We got to give it to him. Of course, Jameson says, crown that man, all hail King Henry. I know that's right. But he's got his main general and Ryan Tannehill, and he has his captains and A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. And then, of course, he got them big hog mollies up front, that offensive line, and those guys, that's his tank. That is the tank that helps him drive. That is the tank that helps them roll. Those dudes did work. David Quesenberry in his first ever start did well. Roger Saffold made a big difference. And a lot of people are definitely showing love to Nate Davis, saying that he's continuing to get better and better as the year goes on. And he is. I definitely will say that. I really like where this team is going offensively. And I am hearing some people saying, and I've even heard Corey Curtis, he tweeted this. He said, do you think we should just move on from Humphreys, give that money to Davis? I'm like, it's something to think about, even though I like Adam Humphreys. He's a security blanket, but you can find a guy like that in the later rounds or in free agency for less money. So, I mean, I could see that happening. I could definitely see that. So that is something that's definitely possible. I appreciate Guardian Down doing that. Yeah, definitely hit that like button. But Isaiah Garris gave me, yes, those stats right there. Corey Davis' last 3 games, he's had, he had 100 yards. I want to say 2 in the last 3 of the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. He's had 100 yards, if I'm not mistaken. He had 100 yards against the Ravens. He had 100 yards against the Bengals. And then I cannot remember the other game where he had 100 yards, but he's definitely come up. He had 5 for 57 against the Colts, 5 for 113 against the Ravens, and then 3 for 70 in this game. And I mean, Derrick Henry did most of the work there. So I think definitely we are definitely in the driver's seat for the division. And on Facebook, of course, we got somebody saying 10 games might not get you in. Definitely not the division. Fuller is out for Houston. Colts sweep the Texans. Now, here's the thing about that. 10 wins might not, in this AFC, which is a very, very stout AFC, 10 wins, I think, gets you in. 10 wins get you in. 9 wins is not going to get you in. But we're not worried about that. We are trying to win the division. And right now, we're on the inside track to that. So it doesn't matter if the Colts beat the Texans. It doesn't matter. We still got to take care of our business. If the Colts already have 2 division losses. Well, no, I take that back. Yeah. The Colts have 2 division losses already because they lost to the Jags in week 1 and they lost to us. They still got to play 3 more division games. And don't think that Houston is just going to be a pushover. And Brandon, I'm going to get to your question in a second. Don't think for a second that Houston's just going to be a pushover. They beat up on Detroit and they beat the Patriots. So don't think that Houston's just going to be a pushover. If Indy loses one of those games to Houston and they got to play them 2 out of the next 3 weeks, that might kick the Colts out of the conversation and leave us all alone with the AFC South. So that's something that we got to do, something that we got to think about. And I mean, yes, we got to keep winning. We got to keep winning and doing what we're supposed to do, but we're on the inside track. We are definitely on the inside track to that. Jameson says, our specialties weapon, Brett Kern. I was glad Brett Kern came back. All 4 of his punts inside the 20-yard line. Inside the 20-yard line. I definitely like that. And let's see. Let's Tighten Up Podcast said Nate Davis highest grade. Nate Davis has gotten a lot better. He's definitely gotten better. And I mean, that's just the continuity. I mean, yes, we are missing Taylor Lewan. But Ty Sambrailo was doing all right. And now David Quesenberry stepping in pretty nicely. So we got some good depth. And so I said this on Mr. Titans post game last night. Let's not talk about Isaiah Wilson because Isaiah Wilson ain't seeing the field this year. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So that's what I got to say about that. Like I said, the AFC as a whole is very stout. But at the same time, he's projecting 12 to 13 wins. If we're going to win 13, that means we win out. But the ceiling is 10-6. I mean, the floor is 10-6, excuse me. The ceiling for me is 12-4. And that is definitely in play. Now, we could win out and go 13-3. Not saying that it can't happen. That is the least likely of that scenario, in my honest opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. We go 13-3? Oh, I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be hopping and stepping and all over this place if that is the case. But I'm just being realistic. I'm being objective. Because, again, this is Titans in Truth. I'm not going to be a complete fanboy. Love my team, but at the same time, got to be realistic. Got to be objective, not subjective. That's something I can't do. Got to keep it real. Got to keep it real. So, Facebook said I want me an AFC South champs hat. Been a long time. Hey, our guy, the great one, Mitch Firkins, he might finally get that dream. He got the tattoo that says AFC South champs. We finally may have that happen for him. Now, he may have to just get it changed to 2020. I don't know how he's going to do that, but I'm pretty sure he is working out the plan. I am sure he's working out a way for it to say 2020 AFC South champs. I will be ready for it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, we've talked about the offense a lot and how great they look because Derrick Henry is a man. He is a man running over boys on the other side. The Colts didn't stand a chance. And see, there were a lot of Colts fans talking crap, talking about, well, they weren't playing at full strength. And they weren't playing at full strength. And, no DeForest Buckner, no Danico Autry. Didn't Derrick Henry run for over 100 yards with both of those guys in the game? And it was a quiet 100 yards at that. The Colts, since 2018, have only given up 3 100-yard games. All that one guy, and all 3 times the player wore number 22. And no, I'm not talking about Christian McCaffrey. I am talking about a king. I am talking about a beast. I am talking about the Beast King. Derrick Henry, the only running back to run for over 100 yards against the Colts since 2018. Since Matt Eberflus has been the defensive coordinator of the Indianapolis Colts. No other running back in the league has ran for 100 yards against the Colts except Derrick Henry. And he is in a very, I think there's only a few Hall of Fame running backs that are doing what he's done. And I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I'm going to pull up a clip from one Mr. Stephen A. Smith, who had to show some love to Derrick Henry as well. So I'm about to pull that clip up in a second because he was putting Derrick Henry in some very nice company. Let's see.
When I look at the Tennessee Titans, and
courtesy of Stephen A. Smith.
Brother Derrick Henry is doing, I ask a simple question. Would the Tennessee Titans even be in a conversation? Would they even be relevant in our eyes if it were not for that stud, Derrick Henry, who beats up opponents and runs roughshod over them night, day in, day out, week in, week out? The brother already almost has about 1,300 yards rushing in 11 games. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. Everybody and their grandmother knows he is getting the ball. They know he is getting the ball often. They know that he's the number one threat. They understand it, and they still can't do anything about it. And it's him. So when I'm looking at it, it's not to sit up there and act like other dudes on Tennessee can't play because they can. And Mike Vrabel, I think, is a damn good coach. And I get all of that. But Derrick Henry is that dude. And I'm telling you right now, when we sit here and we have an MVP conversation right now, it needs to be Patrick Mahomes and Derrick Henry right here. Not here, not right here. Derrick Henry.
And that was courtesy of Stephen A. Smith on the First Take this morning, talking about Derrick Henry in the MVP conversation. And I honestly could agree with that. I know most of the time MVP goes to quarterbacks. And Patrick Mahomes ripped up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yesterday. I'm not even going to take anything away from that brother. But he's absolutely right. Derrick Henry is on the same level. The dude has nearly 1,300 yards, 1,279 to be exact, with 5 games still to go. There are a lot of running backs that are not even going to get to 1,200 by the end of the year. Might not even hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Derrick Henry's at 1,200. Like I said earlier, he's 743 yards away from 2,000 yards. Make it even better. He is 261 yards away from being where he was at the end of last season. Hear me say that again. He rushed for 1,540 yards last season, all straight through the year. And he rushed for 1,500 yards, and I believe he missed 2 games. I think he missed a game. We know he missed a game against New Orleans. And I think he was hampered a bit against Houston the first time. And he still rushed for 1,500. Derrick Henry's at 1,279 right now. And there is still 5 games left. That's, to me, I think that's at least 500 some yards, 100 yards per game. That equals out to about at least 1,700. That equals out to almost 1,800 yards rushing. If he rushes for 100 yards every game here on out, he's going to have 1,779 by himself. As Jameson would say, and as Tennessee Titans Weekly would say, facts, no paper. And that just means the Tennessee Titans are doing their thing. But Henry very well could hit 2,000. Now, Tighten Up Podcast, you're right. I will always favor Good Morning Football over First Take 100 times out of 100. I love that. I am dedicated to Good Morning Football. You know, I haven't been able to watch as much as usual, but I am a GMFB fan #1. But to hear Stephen A. Smith get that credit is absolutely the truth. Now, let us go to the defensive side of the ball. Now, after the first 2 drives, I was kind of concerned. I'm like, we cannot get into a shootout with the Indianapolis Colts. But we didn't have to. We didn't have to. Because we had guys step up. And Jay Porter asking the question, do you think we should sign Borders? I would say we're going to wait to the end of the year. But Breon Borders, I think he might need to stick around a little bit longer. Breon Borders is doing work. He is a hell of a lot better than I ever anticipated. Because the first time I heard of him, I'm like, they said that was a tackle by Borders. I'm like, who the hell is Borders? Who is this? Now I know. Now I think a lot of us are starting to know his name, Breon Borders, and he's built up a border. He ain't giving up big plays like that. He ain't giving up big plays like that. Now, there was that one touchdown that T.Y. Hilton got on him, and honestly enough, if you think about it, that was just a perfectly thrown ball by Phillip Rivers. He only got it where T.Y. Hilton was going to get it. Breon Borders was not going to be able to get to that ball because it was perfectly placed right where T.Y. could get it, and that was a good pass. But other than that, Breon Borders has been putting in some work, and the dude can play. Big corner. He doesn't play super off the ball like Jonathan Joseph did. Now, he could come up a little bit. He's kind of playing about 7 yards off some, but not bad. 5 to 7 yards is about the worst I do. But again, playing pretty good. Could get better, but playing pretty good so far. I give him that. Excuse me. Reggie B says, our defense playing better without Clowney. Now, I have been starting to hear that. You know, a lot of people start to say, well, Dad, this defense playing better without Clowney than with them. Clowney brought a lot of attention. Now, everybody else could just do their thing. I think we could be even better with Clowney, not giving up on him yet, but defense is starting to play well without him. I cannot discredit that. So, you know, I mean, let's take a look. Let's Tighten the Podcast said it. 3rd down. Let's go to 3rd down. Colts were 5 of 12 on third down. You're not hearing like 8 of 13 or, 10 of 12 or, 6 of 9 from third down, 5 of 12 from third down. That was what the Colts averaged, which is about, it's not great. It's like 41, almost 42%, which is way better than the 60% the Titans were almost giving up. So that's the third down defense is getting better. I will say that. And this is how I know that. Colts, 5 of 12 on third down. Baltimore, they were 9 of 15 on third down. But that was because I think they converted like 6 or 7 straight third downs in a row. But then we kind of stopped them when we needed to. That was about 60%. But we have gotten a little bit better on third down. I'll agree with that. Jeff Simmons, another stellar game, had another sack. He's doing good. Harold Landry, another sack. He's got 4.5. He's coming up a bit. He's getting pressure. And I'm trying to take a look right now at that. Let's see. Yeah, Big Jeff is definitely putting in some work. And I love Big Jeffrey Simmons. That's my dude. Harold Landry, 4.5 sacks. Jeff Simmons, 3 sacks. And also, I'm going to mention this. Another guy that I'm starting to notice a bit on the defensive line is Big TNT Tart. Has started to get some play. He's starting to get some play, and he's actually doing some good things on that defense. So I think he's going to get some more run. He's definitely going to get a little bit more run with that. So I like TNT Tart definitely showing up. Derek Robertson didn't notice him much yesterday. David Long, very good coming back. And of course, Mike Vrabel said it himself that he's going to be a big part of the future going forward this season. Now that Jayon Brown is out, this is David Long's time to shine. And this could tell you if the Titans make Jayon Brown re-sign a priority or if they decide to move on. If David Long continues to play well, they're going to move on from Jayon Brown. As much as I love Jayon Brown, would love for him to stay. If David Long continues to play well, he's going to make Jayon Brown expendable. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. None but the truth. So help me. Rashaan Evans made a few plays as well. Again, I already mentioned Breon Borders. Malcolm Butler didn't do too bad himself. Now, one guy, and I think quite a few people have brought this up, and Brandon Bowers brought this up earlier. I don't know what's wrong with our mayor from Murfreesboro, KB31 Savage. I don't know what's going on with Kevin Byard. I don't know why he is not playing as well as we're normally accustomed to. And I think a lot of us are a little drunk off of his past success. Myself included. We are a little drunk off of his past success. And I said this last night, and look, I'm just making a comment, but I love Kevin Byard. I am happy for him being a dad. He got a little girl. He got his child, and that's great. I'm happy for him. I just hate the fact, I just have to admit, ever since we've heard about the birth of the baby, he's kind of regressed a bit. Not blaming his beautiful child at all. Can't do that. I'm just saying that ever since he's announced he was a pops, things have been a little different. The mayor of Murfreesboro has not been the same, and I miss him. I need that mayor of Murfreesboro to come back. I need him to come back. But however, children are a beautiful blessing. I am not a father. I have not been a father. I did help raise my younger brother. Shout out to my brother Christian. Even though I don't know why he's a Bengals fan, but I'm going to give him his respect. You know, KB's got to get back to being himself. I don't know what it is. Vrabel has said, we're not asking him to do anything completely different. Maybe Byard is trying to do too much. So, I mean, and maybe a lot of times, and you know what? Money Cartel is basically saying that that Kevin's trying to take away everything deep. Now, they're not getting beat deep because I think they're afraid of the big play. But, he's a better leader. Quarterbacks are not throwing his way. True. That's true. They respect the fact the dude's a ball hawk. He's a ball hawk. No doubt about that. But there have been some moments that Kevin Byard has not been himself. Brandon said that baby a problem. We need a nanny ASAP. All right, y'all. Look. We're not gonna completely blame little Byard. We're not gonna blame little baby Byard. Nah. I mean, even though I probably did, I'm sorry, y'all. KB, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry. We love the Byard family. Absolutely. Got much love. I'm joking around a little bit. That little child a blessing. That much is a fact. That child is a part of this Titan family too. So, and I know a lot of people are starting to think, is it time to give up on KB? Is it time to get rid of him? No. Don't do that, y'all. Don't turn on Kevin Byard just yet, y'all. He can turn it around, and this might just be a bad season. Everybody has some struggles as a year where they struggle. Every player does. Every player does. So let's not give up on Kevin Byard just yet. He's going to fix it. He's one of the best safeties in the game today. He's one of the best. But no safety is perfect. Hell, Eric Berry was one of the great safeties when he was with Kansas City. But he had his struggles too. He did. Kevin Byard's going to be all right. KB is going to get back together. Now, don't know when, but he's going to get it back together. He's going to get it together. He's going to be all right. I still got faith in KB 31. I'll never give that up. Now, third phase, special teams. Gostowski made off his extra points. I turned away when he made the kick, and I'm glad. I'm going to keep doing that. Every time he kick a ball, I'm trying not to look. That is my tradition now. I would never look at Gostowski make a kick. I just need to hear it's good, or he bangs it home, or right down Broadway. That's all I need to hear. Brett Kern, back to normal, did Brett Kern things. And A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown gets a kickoff return for a touchdown off of the onside kick. Kind of played that center field position, caught, and he was gone. Wasn't going to catch him. Wasn't going to catch him. And Isaiah Garris, you're right. For that next game, and we'll talk about this on Wednesday. Yeah, the Browns are going to be without Denzel Ward. It looks like he is not going to play this upcoming game. Now, it does look like Myles Garrett is going to come back off of the COVID list, so he may be able to play, and he may be able to play this game. But I'm not worried. So, but I mean, what a game. What a game. What a game. Good victory. We're on the inside track to win the AFC South. I'm loving it. I'm excited. And now we got a showdown with the 8-3 Browns. Some playoff implications are on the line. We either can distance ourselves from the Colts and get closer to that division title, or we're back in the wild card. I would rather be the former, heading towards that division championship. Let's get win number 9. And so I think we're going to be really in good shape. This is going to be a good game. The Browns coming in, we cannot take them lightly. The Browns are a team to take extremely seriously. They're fighting for their playoff lives too. They're not going to win their division because Pittsburgh is running away with it right now, undefeated. But they're definitely aiming for a wild card spot. So this is a game the Titans got to take seriously. And one of the Browns players is already talking trash. Already. And we haven't even begun. There, some of the guys in Cleveland are talking about this is a revenge game for Jack Conklin because the Titans didn't re-sign him and things like that. So that's something that it could be. But I think one of the receivers was talking about the Titans are no super team. They can get beat and all this and that. I'm like, dude, we ain't said nothing about y'all. We ain't disrespecting y'all, but you going to disrespect us already? See, just like last year in the playoff, the New England Patriots, Kyle Van Noy was talking crap, talking about, it's different. It's different. We could tackle Derrick Henry. We could stop him. They didn't stop him. Then Earl Thomas talking about, well, they weren't interested in tackling him, but we're going to get him. And we shut their mouths too. Tyler Webster said, forget Jack Conklin. Oh, man, that's something. Wow. But, yeah, I cannot remember the receiver's name. I think it was like Kyra Hodge or something like that. I've never heard of him. He talking about, well, the Titans ain't no super team. They could get beat. They could get beat. I'm like, all right. We know y'all got a great running attack with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. But it takes 2 running backs for y'all to do something. We just need 1. So if the Browns want to pretend to be a big-time team, they can try. But they're going to go up against a real team, and we can shut them down. Plain and simple. Time the podcast looked up that guy's stats. 15 catches, 100 yards. No touchdowns. Cardell Hodge. And he the one that's talking crap, and he barely playing. I'm like, a bench player is talking crap? Now, it'd be different if that was coming from Jarvis Landry or if that was coming from Myles Garrett. We still would try to beat that tail, but I'd be like, okay, they're at least starters. You talking about a guy that's a backup, probably not even playing in the game? I'm like, early. Cardell Hodge, shut your damn pie hole. You don't know what you're talking about. You a bench warmer, a bench rider. You ride the pine. Talking crap. Forget them. So we're definitely going to see about that. But y'all remember, Wednesday night, we're going to announce the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week. So get your nominations, your Dunce of the Day nominations. I'm going to post that hopefully before tomorrow. So y'all can go ahead and put your nominations in. Get your questions for Pick My Brain as well on that. And then we're going to have a Blue Bombshell moment, of course. We're going to talk about a Blue Bombshell moment, talking about Vanderbilt head coach, former Vanderbilt head coach Derek Mason, who had recently was relieved of duty. So we're definitely going to talk about the Star of the Week and Dunks of the Day, and we are going to be talking Cleveland Browns. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. So we're definitely going to be breaking down that matchup. We're going to have the 4 points to victory and how we can go to 9-3 against the Browns and what we do to shut them down and shut them up. So we're definitely going to get ready for that. But y'all, I think that just about does it for the night. And be ready for this show. And then the next post game, I may have a guest come on. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And we are going to go back out the way we came in as we continue to tighten up.
AFC Championship 2020.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Good night, y'all.